This time on Second Chance Ohana.
Hey guys, we have this dresser we're going to be starting today, and we are so excited because we got this for free off of Facebook Marketplace yesterday. It is solid wood, and we have such big ideas for it. So join me as we see if we can give this baby a second chance. Aloha, I'm Dani. In 2016, I moved from Maui to Arizona with my husband to be closer to my mom and pops, who lived just a few miles away. On our journey, Kyle and I expanded our family by adopting 3 tweens, and of course Barkley, who helps make sure everyone feels like part of the Ohana. Mom and I love to hunt for used furniture and restore it, because it's fun to be creative, use power tools, and of course make money. And because, like people, sometimes furniture just needs a second chance.
So Dani, what are your plans for this one?
I'm excited for this dresser because this dresser is actually for my youngest daughter. We are redoing her whole room for her birthday, and she's chosen a beach theme, which, as you know, with our house, is my personal favorite theme. So we are going to turn this into the ocean. So we're gonna sand down the top because this has some gorgeous wood underneath, and that'll be kind of like the sand for the first portion. Below that, we're gonna blend in some white to look like ocean waves. And then below that, we're gonna do a dark teal to make it look like the ocean water. So all together, it's gonna look like a beach scene. And it'll be gorgeous, although I've never blended paint before. So this will be a new technique for us. And I'm gonna have to find some new handles because as cute as these are, they're not gonna work with the beach theme. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but when I find it, I'll know it. So I'm gonna start searching now. So Mama, let's get started.
Okay.
So my sweet Sammy found a passion for sanding with this dresser. She was like, Mom, I'm not done yet. I was like, honey, we don't need to go to the bare wood. And she was like, I've got to finish this. Before I could sand the drawers, we needed to remove all the hardware. I started trying to do it manually and quickly realized that I was going to need the drill. I know some people love these bun feet, and as our family likes to call them, the cinnamon roll feet, but they aren't doing our beach style any favors. So we chose to get rid of them, and we're just going to leave the dresser plain on the ground without any feet at all. Okay, so someone had distress chalk painted this dresser before we got our hands on it, and the brush strokes were so thick. So we decided to sand all the way down to the bare wood because scuff sanding wasn't going to happen with all the brush strokes. And our original plan of leaving raw wood on top and turning it into sand also wasn't going to work because that wood was not as beautiful as we thought. Plus, I'd have no way to blend it, which I realized afterwards. So we had to prime the whole thing before we could start chalk painting. With our new plan, we decided to put the sand color on the very bottom because we love the blues and we wanted more blues showing. And this sand paint, I actually couldn't find the exact color chalk paint I was looking for, so I ended up just making this with the calcium carbonate and doing a DIY chalk paint with it. So next I went ahead and did our darkest blue for the top layer, and you're gonna see that this dresser is just gonna look like it has stripes all across it. And that's okay, because the blending happens after all those first basic layers are on. So now that all the paint colors are on there, including the white chalk paint, which you didn't see a clip of, now it's time to go ahead and sand down to get rid of any brush strokes. So I'm just using a 220 sandpaper here to smooth out all of this chalk paint so that we can add another coat and add the blending. Okay, so I did one more coat of each of the stripe layers just to make sure there was great coverage before the blending. And so now it is time to blend. This is my first time ever attempting to blend chalk paint. I was nervous as heck, but I watched a lot of videos, so it gave me some sort of confidence. And really the process is pretty simple, but I was nervous because I'm doing this in 95-degree heat in Arizona where it's incredibly dry. So that water mister became my best friend. All right, so those blues went surprisingly well, but I've heard it's much easier when the paints have the same tone. So now this white to sand color is a little more stressful. But I found with a little bit of work, a little bit of tweaking, I was able to successfully blend these colors on this dresser. Okay, the blue to the white, where the ocean meets the waves, this is the part that made me the most nervous. I considered just doing a wave spray and just kind of blotching the white. And then I attempted blending the blue with the white, and I pulled Instagram and found out what you guys liked, and you all chose that ombre blend, which made me nervous, but it did turn out really great. So essentially, here's the basic process for blending chalk paints. You're going to want to wet your bottom color and have a brush dedicated to that color. And then you're going to wet right over the top layer and do the top color. And then you're going to take a dry neutral brush. So we're going to start this blending process by bringing the white up to the blue diagonally. And then you're going to bring the blue down to the white diagonally. And then we're just going to go in circles. This really blends those blues and whites, but we don't want to stop there. And now we're just gonna go side to side to blend in those colors. And again, keep it wet, keep misting as you need to. And keep going that side to side. It looks here like my blue to my white at the bottom isn't looking amazing, so I'm going to keep fiddling with it down there. It looks like it got too blue, so I'm definitely going to add back in some white with my white brush. And then I'll take my neutral brush again and smooth it out again. Start blending a little bit more. All right, for the first layer, this is looking pretty good. Can you tell the difference between that drawer with the stripes and the blended side? Anyone can do this, but it does take a lot of finessing and a lot of playing with it and experimenting. After the first coat of blending, you can see we're getting the effect down, but it's far from perfect. And the thing about this blending technique is you can't just go back and touch up one part. You really kind of have to do it all over again. So there's definitely some issues in there, which we'll hopefully take care of in the second coat of blending. I was hoping to get all the blending done in just 2 coats. Unfortunately, this is now the 3rd layer of blending. It just, every time there was a dry brush stroke in the wrong place and it just didn't work. So even just to fix little things, you pretty much have to do it all over again. And that's okay, it was a fun process. But we are just about done here and it is going to be ready for some poly. Just a few finishing touches left. We're going to go ahead and sand the edges of the inside of the drawers just to make sure that there's no bleed through happening. And now it's time for handles. These are those hydro tip knobs that Sammy and I made last month, and they look perfect on this dresser. Very beach inspired, very fun. So if you haven't seen that video yet for how to get this really neat look, go ahead and check out the video. I'll leave the link right here in the top right corner. Yay! Finally finished Sammy's dresser. That was a lot of effort, and it was a totally new technique, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. Do you remember what it looked like before? Let's take a look. And here's what it looks like now.
So, Dani, I was in Hawaii when you did this project. What was your favorite part of the process?
I think the actual blending when it was nice and wet, and it was just this magical moment where it would become totally seamless as the gradients of colors happen. And then there were frustrating moments where it would dry and you get brush strokes and it'd be a little different, but that was definitely my favorite moment. So numbers wise, we got this for free. I can't believe that keeps happening. I always used to be a little jealous of people that kept getting free pieces, but we constantly check Facebook Marketplace and somehow we're the first people to reply. So we got this dresser for free. And between all the different kinds of paints, the knobs, the sandpaper, the poly, all in we're at $30.
Great.
Yeah, so not bad for a complete transformation for a dresser. And it's gonna look great in Sammy's room. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and we hope you'll subscribe, like, comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and if you have any tips for blending, because I definitely want to try it again. And we hope you'll stay tuned next Sunday. We're going to be revealing Sammy's teen girl room bedroom makeover reveal, and we are so excited about that. So until then, have a great week, and aloha!
Aloha.
Get frustrating, but like those magical moments when they became seamless was pretty amazing. Down in front, Barkley, jeez. You come from.
Good boy. Down, 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 down.